This was one of those days that I had some time in between a doctor's appointment and a mystery shop for some extra cash. And I thought, I'm going to do something different. I brought my book. I stopped at a local park, and I wasn't the only one with this idea. The park was full of people coming and going and having picnics and walking their dogs and just enjoying the outdoors. It's really hot in Kansas right now. It's in the upper 90s. We're expecting some days in the hundreds. And I just sat there and enjoyed the view, enjoyed something different, and thought, this is what retirement is like, being able to explore and take an afternoon and sit at the park and read if I feel like it, with nothing pressing on my schedule. I just love being able to be retired and have this slow paced life. If I knew it was going to be this wonderful, I think I would have figured out a way to do it sooner. Yes, I live frugally and I need to live frugally so that I don't have to go back to work, but it's worth it to me. The freedom is worth it to me. And while I was out and about, I thought, this would be a good time for me to just wander around and check out some of these places that I don't normally have time to go to and see if there's any good deals or good information for frugal living that I can pass on to you. And I found some. If you're new to the channel, I'm Bonita and I am early retired. I'm living on savings, I'm living on a small income, and I live in Kansas on a farm. I make frugal videos all year round, and I hope that you will join me as we share ways to save money and live our dreams. So I decided to stop by Walgreens. I haven't been there in a long time. It's a pharmacy that most of us know about. And did you know they have a section of $1.25 items? Now, I had found a section like this in CVS Pharmacy when I spent the winter in Texas, but I wasn't aware that Walgreens had one as well. And on the Fetch app, until August 31st, every receipt that you upload, you get a bonus of 50 points. So that's a really good deal through the end of August. So let me show you some of the things that are in this $1.25 section. Some of the things that they carry may look like you're walking through the Dollar Tree, but they also have a cash back reward program. So when you purchase things and use your telephone number after you've signed up, you will get cash back that you can use on a future purchase. So I spent a whole $1.26 while I was there. I got a penny of credit to go towards a future purchase, and I was able to upload my receipt to Fetch to get my 50 bonus points. And I bought the last of something they had on the shelf at this Walgreens, and it was a really good deal. If I could have found more, I would have bought it. And what did I get? A giant box of strawberry jello for $1.25. I decided to stop by Home Depot to look for some of that Oops paint that they have tinted, and you can get at a discount on their rack. But while I was there, I found that they also had a dollar section. So let me show you what they had at Home Depot. I've actually ran across some really good deals at Home Depot before, but it's not someplace I usually think about for catching clearance items. My husband gets a veterans discount at both Home Depot and at Lowe's, but I have to have him with me to get that discount. So today I was by myself, but I stopped by Lowe's and I found a cart that they had of $1 window cleaner. Now I use half vinegar, half water. But let's say you don't have an extra spray bottle, or you know that vinegar costs quite a bit and this is only $1. So you pick it up, and then when you're done, you have a spray bottle that is empty, and it's hard to even find a spray bottle for $1. So that's a really good deal. And sometimes these off the wall places that you don't think about getting really good deals have some surprisingly good deals. I love stopping by the little stores that are kind of out of the way that are grocery, because they usually have the best clearance because they don't have a lot of traffic. Sadly for them, good for me. So I pick up a lot of good deals from those little out of the way grocery stores that don't get a lot of traffic. And then I also like going to the Asian stores and the Hispanic stores. I have found some really good deals on staples in those stores as well. I've had some retired persons say to me lately, things are going up. Where can we make up the difference? And that's one of the things that I love about frugal living. We have great problem solving skills that come with being frugal. For instance, just looking in some places to shop for some things that we might need where we usually don't shop, that can open up being able to save some money on some items that maybe we needed. That baking soda was name brand for $1. So that was a pretty good deal right there. And even some of the cleaners were a decent deal. And the paper towels were only 98 cents. Now, we don't use a lot of them, but we do keep a roll around. And where can you get a roll of paper towels for like 98 cents? So those were some good deals in there. And making up the difference can be as little as picking up some things that you know you're going to use and not paying full price. This year, when my car insurance jumped up, I thought, okay, I'm not going to panic. And I called and I was able to get AAA to help me find a new auto insurance. And they found one that saved me about $260 a year. That extra $260 was huge for me. That was so helpful on a low budget. But I think one of the things that frugal people have that knack for is we know not to panic. We know that we can figure something out. We can problem solve our way out of it. And to take some time and just take a breath and say, okay, I don't want to pay that. What can I do? And think, okay, I'm going to try. I'm going to try somewhere else and see if I can get a better deal. A lot of us are not driving our car out of the yard that much. A lot of us are not driving to work every single day, and they give you discounts for your car not going to work every single day and it just being set to pleasure. And we can take advantage of some of those car discounts that they give us because of that. Now, where you live, of course, makes a huge difference on what they charge you for car insurance. I live in a rural area in Kansas, and living here took my car insurance from about $46 a month average down to $19 and something. That was huge for my budget. So, frugal people also have another great skill: we don't panic. Another thing that I love about being frugal is it opens up your creativity, and you are able to come up with more money saving ideas when you're looking to do that on a day to day basis. I'm saving money in so many ways that I didn't have time before. Even having a garden. Here the other day, I had a green pepper. I thought it was dead, and I just left it go. And guess what? It grew a sprout that was green, and now I have produce growing off of that sprout. So even being a little bit more patient in retirement is a frugal trait. When I worked, I didn't have much patience. My husband and I always laugh about it and make a joke. I always say I don't have any patience. God didn't give me any. It's not my fault. But now that I am retired, I actually have more patience because my stress level is so much lower. How many times have we overspent money because we didn't have patience, because we were stressed, because we were just reacting to whatever happened? Say our washing machine or a refrigerator broke and we just go out and buy another one. Say our car is making a funny noise, so we just go out and trade for another one that day. We make spur of the moment decisions that cost us lots of money. And in retirement, we can afford to take a step back and to make a better decision rather than just reacting to whatever's happening and spending a bunch of money. So, say that washing machine breaks down. Maybe you're already going to town to look for some milk or some bread. You can just take that laundry with you, take it into the laundromat, maybe just wash it, bring it home, hang it up inside to dry. I've done that when that has happened to us rather than just reacting and buying a washing machine right then. I have also been where my oven didn't work for like a year and a half, and I had already spent a bunch of money getting it fixed prior, more than the oven even cost to buy a new one. And I was not going to do that again. So I just took a step back and I was like, okay, I have crock pots, have an electric skillet, I have a turkey roaster, and we went through the holidays using what I had. I had the stovetop, it still worked. The oven part didn't work. And I used my turkey roaster. I have a 3-pot crock pot. I used everything I had to cook in other ways and made my turkey in that turkey roaster, made it a day ahead, and heated it up in the crock pots, and then made my ham the day of the holiday. There's ways to go about doing that. Does it take a little bit more planning? Yeah. But in retirement, I have time for that extra planning. I have the time more than I have the money. And it gave me time to save for a new oven if I needed to and think, did I really want to spend money on this old oven? I had time to think it through and figure out other ways around it. So, not just reacting is huge. If you can take the time to not just react, you will save yourself a bunch of money. So some of these things that I'm doing, like making my own cleaners, they're not only saving me money now, but they're going to save me money going forward because there's something I'm going to keep doing now that I know how to do it. I've marked all those things off of my shopping list, and those things are going to make a difference, not only in time, but in space and in money. And I think that's where we can really clean up when it comes to frugal living, whether we're still raising a family or whether or not we are retired, is adding those things to our daily schedule that are not hard to do, that will save us money now and going forward. And that's where we can make up some of the difference. I don't ever use my dryer. I don't even need a dryer. So I have the breaker shut off to the dryer because I don't need it. I have a drying rack that I use when it rains. I have hangers I can use. I have a clothesline if I feel like going out and hanging it on the line. But honestly, as my back has been giving me more issues, I'm using more of the hanger method and more of the drying rack method in the house because it's easier for me. So it's something I can continue to do even as I age. And it's something that I can do that will save me money now and going into the future. I've had a lot of difficulties with my garden this year. We've had a lot of rain, and honestly, my back's been giving me a lot of problems. But if you followed me for a while, I do a lot of indoor gardening and I do it all year round. And that's something that will not only help me now, but it will help me going on into the future. And I think that's the things that we need to put in place right now. Those things that will not only save us money now, but save us money going on into the future. Does it bring me a ton of produce? No, but I do Swiss chard, I do green onions, I do celery, I do green peppers. Those are all that I do through the winter time in my house. And as I age, I will probably add to those because it's easier for me to water them in the house. It's easier for me to harvest the produce in the house, and it's something that I really enjoy. And those are the types of things that I'm putting in place now that I have the time to do it. I know part of this video had my curtains closed because of the sun glare and a fan running in the background because it's super hot today. So I hope that wasn't too distracting, and I appreciate you understanding that. Most of my videos are food for thought. They are so you can maybe spark an idea of ways that you can save money in your own home. That's what I look for. I look for things that I can put into place that I can continue to do that are relatively easy, that will mark things off my shopping list. Things like putting my cloth napkins into the cycle a few years ago that were sitting upstairs in a drawer. Those have saved me money for several years now, and there's something I don't have to think about anymore. It's just part of our daily routine. Some of these things are the best bang for your buck that you can do by putting some things in practice that will be ongoing, sustainable, and continue to save you money in the future. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know if it sparked any ideas for you, or if you can share any ideas with us that save you money that we might like to try. Thank you so much for listening today. I always appreciate the time that you take to spend with me, and I hope that you will join me again for a future video.